The internet says you can reprogram your brain in 21 days. Honestly, I thought it was a myth. But after 3 weeks of following a strict, daily protocol, the results were not what I expected. What if you could literally rewire your mind to be more focused, positive, and disciplined? Gurus online promise this exact transformation in just 21 days. Sounds like a total biohacking fantasy. So, is it actually possible to rewire your brain, or is this just another self-help lie? I decided to put it to the test. I felt stuck. My days started with this feeling of dread, and the first thing I do is grab my phone and fall into a black hole of social media and emails. My focus was shattered. I'd sit down to work on a big project, and 10 minutes later, I'd be mindlessly scrolling Instagram again. A constant low-grade anxiety was just humming in the background, fueled by this negative voice in my head telling me I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't good enough, I was procrastinating, my energy was low, and I felt like I was running at 50% capacity. I was the perfect candidate. The idea is really seductive. It's based on a concept called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. This whole 21-day idea got popular because of Dr. Maxwell Maltz, a plastic surgeon back in the 1960s. He noticed his patients took about 21 days to get used to their new faces after surgery. This observation was picked up by the self-help world and blew up into the rule we know today. Do something for 21 days, and you'll have a new habit. Maltz actually said it takes a minimum of 21 days to change a mental image. A famous study by researcher Philippa Lally found that, on average, it takes about 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. And that's just the average. For the people in her study, it ranged from 18 to 254 days, depending on the person and the habit. Honestly, that was encouraging. It meant 21 days wasn't a pass or fail test. Could I build enough momentum in 3 weeks to make new behaviors stick for good? With that new perspective, I designed a strict protocol. Morning cold exposure. A 2 to 3 minute cold shower every single morning. Daily meditation. 15 minutes of mindfulness meditation every day. I needed to build my focus muscle. No phone first hour. The first hour of my day had to be 100% screen-free. No email, no social media, no news. This was all about taking back my morning from reactive tech. Daily journaling. Every evening, I'd write down 3 things. Something I accomplished, something I was grateful for, completely uninterrupted deep work sessions each day. No distractions allowed. This protocol was designed to hit my biggest pain points: distraction, negativity, and a lack of discipline. The rules were simple, but I knew sticking to them for 21 days straight would be anything but easy. First week was brutal. Every part of me was screaming in protest. Waking up knowing a freezing cold shower was waiting for me was pure mental torture. I'd stand there, hesitating, trying to talk myself out of it. The meditation just felt like I was failing over and over. My mind was a storm of to-do lists, anxieties, and random thoughts. Sitting still for 15 minutes felt like an eternity. And the no phone rule? Surprisingly hard. I literally felt a phantom limb sensation, my thumb twitching to check for notifications that weren't there. It really showed me just how deep my addiction to distraction had become. By day 3, I was miserable. I wasn't feeling reprogrammed. There was no magic feeling of clarity or focus. It just felt like a grind, and I seriously considered quitting. Then, around day 9 or 10, something started to shift. It wasn't a lightning bolt. It was way more subtle. The cold showers went from a 3-minute panic attack to a 3-minute challenge I knew I could beat. I started to see my anxious thoughts not as me, but as clouds passing in the sky. They'd come, and then they'd go. This tiny shift in perspective was huge. For the first time, I felt like I wasn't totally at the mercy of my own mind. The biggest surprise was the journaling. When I looked back at my entries from week 1, I could see this clear pattern of negativity. But by week 2, my brain was actively hunting for things to be grateful for. T was starting to scan my day for wins, not just failures. It was like I was training a muscle, and it was actually getting stronger. The 90-minute focus blocks got easier, too. The urge to check my phone was still there, but now it was a quiet whisper instead of a demanding scream. The protocol had become part of my routine. I wasn't just doing the habits. I was becoming the kind of person who does these things. Waking up without my phone felt peaceful instead of restrictive. The cold shower was an energizing jolt I actually started to look forward to. Those 90-minute focus blocks became my sanctuary. I was getting more meaningful work done in those 3 hours than I used to get done in an entire day of chaos. The constant hum of anxiety was gone. It's not that I stopped having stressful thoughts, but they no longer had the power to derail my entire day. I felt a sense of calm control I hadn't felt in years. The system was working. Doing the habits gave me energy and focus, which made it easier to keep doing the habits. This was the feeling of reprogramming in action. After 21 days, did I completely reprogram my brain? Well, no. But also, yes. Let me explain. The results weren't what I expected. I didn't wake up on day 22 a completely new person with a different brain. That's the myth. The internet's promise of a total, instant transformation is a lie. But the reality was so much more meaningful. The before me was reactive, distracted, and constantly overwhelmed. The after me is intentional and why mornings are calm. My ability to concentrate on one thing has easily doubled. I feel less anxious and more in control of my emotions. Did my brain really reprogram, or was it a placebo? I think the changes are real because they aren't based on a feeling. You can't just think your way to a new mindset. You have to act your way into it. Repetition is the mother of skill and, as it turns out, it's also the mother of reprogramming. Is reprogramming your brain in 21 days a myth or reality? It's both. You won't magically emerge with a permanently rewired brain that's immune to old habits. Believing that just leads to disappointment, and it's why people quit. The reality is that 21 days is the perfect launchpad. It's long enough to push through that initial pain and resistance, but short enough that it doesn't feel impossible. It's the time it takes to build a foundation. You're not building the whole house. You're pouring the concrete. You're proving to yourself that change is possible. And that creates a shift in your identity. You stop being a person who wants to be more disciplined and start becoming a person who is disciplined. That shift is the most powerful takeaway of all. The brain's ability to change, its neuroplasticity, is absolutely real. But it doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to repeated action. Those 21 days of consistent action started carving new neural pathways. The old path of grabbing my phone in the morning is still there, but it's getting overgrown and harder to walk down. The new path of meditating is getting wider and easier to travel. That is neuroplasticity in action. And that's the core insight. Consistency is so much more important than intensity. If this self-experiment was interesting to you, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to Biohacking Lab. It really helps the channel out. But more importantly, I have a question for you. What's the one habit you would build if you did your own 21-day challenge? Drop it in the comments below. Reading about your goals inspires this entire community. Oh, what's my final verdict? Don't start a 21-day challenge to become a new person. Start one to prove to yourself that you can lay the first brick. Why 3 key takeaways from this whole experiment are: 21 days is a catalyst, not a cure. Use it to build momentum, not to expect a miracle. The real work starts on day 22. The protocol is everything. The power isn't in one hack, but in the combined effect of a daily system. The whole is way more than the sum of its parts. You don't think your way into a new life. You act your way into it. Your brain adapts to what you consistently do. The person who started this was hoping for a magic pill. The person who finished realized something far more valuable. We all have the power to deliberately change our own minds, one day at a time. And what I'm planning to test next? Well, let's just say it might change the game all over again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Biohacking Lab, and share this with someone who might need it.